Hi, my name is Celia. Welcome to my channel. I really did think that this was gonna be more of a conventional unboxing, but um, as you will see later in this video, it did not happen that way. I did have some trouble getting the bottles out of the little containers they were on. So it had to be like this, and then my kids were awake, and there was a lot of noise in the house, and I just wanted to put this video up already. I did get this from a Texas fountain pen store, called Drunguros. I hope I pronounced that right. It came with that little cute sticker. It'll focus in a second. Um, I was so excited when I got this box. You could not even imagine. Um, so I'm gonna speed through me taking all of the bottles out. I was kind of trying to figure out, you see me put it back, I was trying to figure out like how I could make it work. I did really want to give the full unboxing experience, but it was just, maybe it's because I'm not used to wearing nails. I've only been wearing them for maybe 2 months or so. But before that, I never had. So I was doing it with that pen, but then like I almost destroyed it. Um, and then I started using that thermometer. I I don't know. And at one point during this whole thing, I just give up and will start tearing the whole thing apart. I think that's when I start. Where I'm just cutting the whole thing. Um, yeah. So I do like that it comes packaged like that, where it's easy to store. I haven't had one of the diamine ink calendars, so I don't know what the packaging is like. But this will make it super easy to store. And once you mess with those little things, it won't be as hard to be pulling them out, as they won't be so tightly packed in there. I understand the point of it for shipping and safety and all that, but it was just really hard to pull out. If you do use it traditionally, I'm sure as the days go on, you will find the right tool or the right way to kind of pull it. But that's what I had to do to just make it work for me. And what I wanted to do, I don't think that I am patient enough to have done it in an advent calendar way. It does sound fun. I just I just don't see myself being that patient. It does say on the box that if you, or it has a QR code, so that you can vote for, and it says that the top 3 inks will make it to their collection. I will go over my favorite 3 inks closer to the end. Yeah, that's where it says the top 3 inks will be released. I, I took the whole box apart. I wanted to keep the little folds, as they do come with an explanation for each of the inks. I did not feature that here, but I haven't even read it. I just took it apart and it's there. I just kept it for future reference, but it does come with a little explanation of what each of the names or the ink names are. Starting with day one, this is called Super Giant. This is the brightest red I've ever seen. I'm gonna call it a neon red. It doesn't seem to have any particular special characteristics. It's just a red. Like I said, it is super bright and just brighter than anything else that I have in my collection. Looking back at this picture, I wish I would have put something a little bit different. Because Wild Strawberry from Diamine on the left and Kobe number 4 on the right are almost identical inks, just a difference in the amount of sheening. And Super Giant, it's very similar color, just a little bit brighter than the other two, and without the sheening or the more noticeable sheening. Day two is called Edge of Night. I do see myself using this color a lot. It's a muted, kind of unsaturated, um, neutral blue or gray blue. It's it's really, really, really pretty. And again, not any like special characteristics. It's just a simple blue. Sorry for kicking the camera there. Here you can see it compared to Sailor Manyo Kikyo, and I'm sorry about the pronunciation. I did not prepare that for this. And sorry, on the left and on the right, you can see Mountain Swallowtail from Birmingham Pen Company. This is a more teal color, and you can see just how neutral Edge of Night falls in between these two colors. Um, I really do love this color. I think I'm gonna be using this a lot. Day number 3 is called Moonlit Veil. I love that name. A lot of the names here are really, really good. This is a very unsaturated, neutral gray. Even though I love grays, I don't know that I will be using this particular one a lot just because it might be hard to see for me. I do wear glasses, so that's why. On the left here, you can see Sterling Ink by Birmingham Pen Company, which is a pretty light ink, and it's even lighter than that. And on the right, Wearing Gold, I'm a Cat, which is it's got some shimmer there, and it's a lot. That's one of my favorite inks ever. Day number 4 is called Sailing Stones. This is, and it does look like it's going to be um, another pale color. This is a beautiful, muted, neutral, grayish brown that I believe on the right. And I will learn to love this. I do wear glasses, and sometimes I do struggle a little bit with the lighter inks, but I think this is gonna work. And it's just like I said, just beautiful, neutral, beige brown. Here you can see it compared to Birmingham Pen Company Water Bear on the left and Lennon Toolbar on Sesame Oil on the right. And you can see here, there's a little bit of purple to Sailing Stones. And it's kind of similar to Water Bear, but Water Bear is a kind of chroma shading ink. Also, as to Linen Toolbar, that is more of a yellow color. Moving on to day 5, Rosette Nebula. This is a I would call it reddish pink or pink reddish. Kind of those one of those colors that falls in between. Definitely to me in the pink color family. Um, and again, you can see that this calendar is kind of muted overall, which I think that it's very much on what a lot of people are into right now, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. Here you can see it compared to Robert Oster Rose Gold Antiqua on the left and Robert Oster Lipstick Red on the right. I do think this is almost an identical color to Lipstick Red, except less saturated. Moving on to day number 6. This is called Kilo Nova. This bright blue or super saturated blue feels like a breath of fresh air after all the muted colors we just had. This ink also has noticeable sheening, which is also different to the other things that we had in this calendar. So I'm really glad this color is here. In comparison to Monteverde Sapphire, this is more of a purplish blue. I'm sorry, this picture is really overexposed. And then in comparison to um Tatcha Earth Blue, this is a little darker. I thought I was gonna have something like exactly the same in my collection, but I don't. Day number 7 of the calendar is Rover. This is the first of the glistening inks. This is this is such a beautiful gray. The shimmer here is so fine, and there isn't a lot of it. I don't see this shimmer causing issues in pens. There really isn't that much of it, and it's really really fine. I am super excited about this ink. Here you can see it compared to Diatramente's Velvet Black Copper on the left and Wearing Gold Amacat on the right. And you can see that this is more of a true neutral gray than Wearing Gold Amacat, which looks way more bluish. Day number 8 is Colorverse Blue Moon. This is a baby blue. To me it just looks like a baby blue. It is an unsaturated light neutral blue. I don't see any kind of special characteristics or any kind of chromo shading on this ink or anything like that. Here you can see it compared to Sailor Manyo Koke on the left and Sailor Ink Studio 241 on the right. And it's almost the same as Koki, except Koki has the chromo shading. The next ink is Red Horizon. This is a very similar red to the previous one, except it is not as bright. Here you can see it has really good saturation to it. No particular special characteristics, just a true, I would say this is a Coca-Cola red. Here you can see the comparison of the two reds, Supergiant on the right, which is the first red that we saw, and Red Horizon on the left. And they're very similar. Like I said, it's just Supergiant's a little bit brighter than Red Horizon. The next ink is called Aquarius Whispers. If I could call this ink, I would probably call it surgical scrub color. It is very unique. It is very unique. It dances in between a teal blue and a green. I don't have anything like that on my collection. Nothing super similar or any dupes for it. Um, I do think that a lot of people are gonna like this color. It feels unique to me. Here you can see it compared to one of the guitar inks, Gentle Green on the left and Robert Oster River of Fire on the right. And you can see that it is a much brighter color than the other two. The next ink is called Da Vinci Glow. This is day number 11, and this will be the first ink that I remember that I remember having some chromo shading characteristics to it. It is a very again like an unsaturated, pale, neutral, blue gray, which is kind of like the same characteristics that we've seen throughout the calendar. I think I've said that twice already. But yeah, this is gonna dry really pretty into like a light gray, like a very light yellow beige. There where the ink saturated the heaviest. Here you can see Sailor Manyo Fuji on the left and Mayo Sailor Mayo Nico Yanagi on the right. And you can see this is way more neutral and a little more grayish than the other two, but in saturation it looks about the same. Day number 12 of the calendar is called Sunbeam. This is a yellow with a greenish tone to it, and I believe that this is this should be um this should be readable on a broader nib. I mean, it depends on everybody, but I think it's gonna pass that line for me, and it looks like it's gonna have some nice shading to it, so that should help. In comparison to Vinta Bronzy Yellow La Paz, this is a little bit lighter and a little more yellow. And then to Robert Oster Heart of Gold, the same thing. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit yellow. So if those two inks are on the border of being too light for you, this ink will also be that. Our next ink is Neptune Occult I can't pronounce that, Occultation, day number 13. This is another rich blue, which like the previous one feels fresh in a sense because of all the kind of more muted colors that we're seeing. So we seen those bright reds and this bright blues. But other than that, it is a pretty muted in color calendar. Here you can see it compared to Diamine Nightfall on the left and Diamine Shimmering Seas on the right. And you can see that this is more of a purple blue than the other two. And there is a little bit of sheening, some, I would say magenta to red sheening here where are the areas of heavier saturation. For day number 14, we have Pulsar Pulse. This is a more neutral blue that we've seen, the one we just saw, and it's also a darker blue than the other neutral blues that we've seen in the previous days. Once it starts to dry, you will see that there is a small amount of pinkish magneta shimmer right there on the top. And here you can see it compared to Pyloreo Shusuku Konpeki on the left and Blue Faced Eater from Birmingham Pen Company on the right, which appears more teal. than the Pulsar Pulse from Colorverse. Moving on to the next day, day number 15. This is called Brinicles. This is another blue, but this falls more into, for me, a little bit more into the teal category. This is like the cartoon Perfect Lagoon or like blue water, at least in my head. Here you can see it compared to Diamine Sub-Zero, which is a lighter blue, and Wearing Gold 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is more of a neutral blue, and also, well, the shimmer particles. The next ink here, day number 16, is called Eclipse Silence. This is a dark black. It does seem that it's not extremely saturated, but still, it's just a very pretty basic black. On the comparisons, you will see Pilar Iroshusuke Takesumi on the left and Platinum Carbon Black on the right. Moving on to the next day, day number 17. This is NCG 2264. And we finally get a green. We finally get a true green. This is a lovely, lovely green. And again, you kind of get excited with when there's like these stronger variations. Like they kind of feel surprising. But again, in the same manner of most of the inks in this calendar, it is still very beautiful and muted. Here you can see it being compared to Roger and Klinger Alt Gold Run on the left, which is more yellow, and Sailor 967, again a little more of a yellow. This the NGC 2264 falls more in between that neutral green. Moving on to day number 18, Morning Glow. This is a gray ink. I would say it's grayish blue, grayish purple for sure. There seems to be maybe a small amount of chromo shading characteristics there. You can see that it's kind of drying into this lighter pinkish color. And when we move on into the comparisons of the inks, you can see that it is lighter and more gray, that Water Bear from Birmingham Pen Company, and also just a little bit lighter than Sterling Silver, also from Birmingham Pen Company. Moving on to day number 19, we are getting close to the end now. This is another glistening ink. This is Milky Way. This is I forgot the word. I just had the word in my head. This is a violet. That's the word I was looking for. This is a neutral violet with a little bit of shimmer, and I think describing it as glistening is the exact description. Like I couldn't have thought of a more perfect one. As you can see, it's just barely there. It's like a little breath of it. Here you can see it compared to the Atramentis brilliant violet copper, which is brighter, and then Regal Prune from Birmingham Pen Company, which is even more muted and a little more kind of grayish. Day number 20, White Hole. When I saw the name, I really thought it was gonna be white, but it's not. It is a gray, light, unsaturated blue color. Here you can see the ink getting compared to Sailor Manyo Koki and Sailor Ink Studio 241. You can see it is lighter, and this one also has some chroma shading characteristics going into a very, very pale lavender into a light blue. Day number 21, Giant Sunspot. This is an orange that's on fire. This is a bright, beautiful orange. This is, so we've had two reds, a pinkish red, and now we have an orange. Here you can see it compared to Birmingham Pen Company Firebox and Tacha Nakabayashi. And here you can see just how bright this color is. Next color, Portuguese Meteor. This is day number 22. This is another glistening ink. And like I said, there is just, it's barely there shimmer. Um, this is another light blue. It seems like we are going on to 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe this is our fourth light blue like this. I will show a picture comparing these colors towards the end. Here you can see the comparison to Sailor Manion Cookie and Diamine Sub-Zero, and you can tell this is more of a teal green blue than the other two are. Our next ink, day number 23, Dante's Cosmetology. I would say this is a muted purple blue. Here you can see it being compared to Sailor Manyo Kikyu and Sailor to the left and Sailor Ink Studio 443 to the right. And you can see just this is a little more grayish, a little more purple than the other two. We made it to day number 24. This is called Christmas Star. I do love that it kind of brings you back. It's like the advent calendar, Christmas. Um, this is this is a really beautiful, and this is a glistening ink also. I would say yellow or orange yellow. It is a light orange. And here you can see it being compared to Lamy Mango, which is lighter. And it does seem to be similar to Troublemaker Mango, just a little tiny bit lighter than that one. So this brings us to the end of the calendar. I will be showing comparisons of the similar inks or the similar color families to follow. We will start with the reds. Here you can see Giant Sunspot, day number 21, which is the orangey red. Red Horizon, day number 9th in the middle, and Super Giant, day number 1 to the right. Moving on to the grayish tones, you can see day number 3 on the far left, Moonlit Veil, day number 18, Morning Glow to follow, day number 7, Rover, and day number 4, Sailing Stones. I also wanted to show a comparison of the two darker blues, Neptune Occultation on the left and Kilonova on the right. And you can see the Kilonova is just a little bit lighter. Here you can see all the light blue colors that I was talking about. Blue Moon on the far left to follow Edge of Night, Da Vinci Glow, and White Hole. To follow the two mid-range blues, day number 15, Brinicles, and day number 14, Pulsar Pulse. And now moving on to the two Turquoise Whisper, sorry, Aquarius Whisper Day number 10, and Portuguese Meteor. If you've made it to the end of this, thank you so much. I would really appreciate if you took the time to comment and subscribe. Um, I am slowly getting better at editing. There is more content coming. Thank you again.